Hey, I'm Cody from Unqualified Gamers, a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to right now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You are listening to the Starling Tribune, a podcast dedicated to the Arrow TV show.
This guy gets more airtime than the Kardashians, right?
This podcast is not produced or maintained by the CW, Warner Brothers Television, CTV, or DC Comics. All characters, situations, and stories are the properties of Time Warner. I am Oracle, and this is your Tribune.
And your reporters for this 19th episode of the third season of Arrow, titled Broken Arrow. I am Stargate Pioneer, and with me is Jay.
Normal people, they don't do that. Heroes do that.
And Chris.
I was told once the man cannot live by two names. Well, right now, I can't live by either, so I don't know who I am.
Oh, I could kiss you right now.
Really?
Awkward. Sorry. Boundaries.
You made me all excited, SP. I'm all sad now.
This podcast is recorded on Friday, April 17th, 2015. We're just a few regular guys that like to discuss the TV show Arrow. And just a little reminder that I am not a comic expert. I'm more of a sci-fi sort of guy, but I'm catching up with the comic lore just a little bit, thanks to folks like Jay.
Yeah, I try. I do what I can.
Who is a comic fan and enthusiast, and Chris, who is our resident comic geek.
I am the Grand Jedi Master of Comics.
These aren't the comics you're looking for. Just a little reminder, you can still catch up on all of our shows past and our rewatch shows for season 1, season 2 in the off weeks at our archive, which can be found at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. So this was a good episode. It was directed by Douglas Aronofsky. Do you guys know who this guy is?
Haven't the foggiest.
No, me neither.
Well, he's got some cred to his name. If you look at his IMDb page, he's got a couple of Arrow episodes, Seen Red and Broken Arrow. He's also directed a few Sleepy Hollows, whatever you call it, and Criminal Minds. So he's got some TV cred to him. And then also it was written by a trio. There was a story by Jake Colburn, who's a co-executive producer of Arrow. And the teleplay was done by Ben Sokolowski. Sokolowski, who
It's
had,
tough to say, man.
I know, geez, tongue twisters these guys are. He's written up to 10 Arrow episodes, and then he wrote it with Brian Ford Sullivan, who has a total of 5 Arrow episodes, and it's really hard. You know, you've got a writing credit, you've got a teleplay credit, so I just kind of mix them all together. So there you go. Check these guys out. They actually know what they're doing. And they did know what they were doing, because do you guys just want to jump to the end right away, or do you want to walk through it?
Well, it's kind of hard to avoid the end, though.
I know. I mean, it was set up so perfectly one way, and then bam at the last minute.
So did you guys think it actually happened?
Yeah. The last scene in the condo?
Oh, I was thinking the prison one, but the last scene in the condo, yeah. I didn't even think about that. I was more fixated on what happened to Roy.
Well, it was the same thing okay, so what we're talking about is Ra's al Ghul knifing, swording, whatever you want to call it, straight through Thea is one, and the sword...
What is it about Queen women getting swords through the gut?
What is it about Queens, period, getting swords through them? It happened to Ollie,
That's
too.
true.
I know, all the way through. And then, of course, Roy got shivved by a guard who was actually a Argus employee. So
it was a friendly shivving.
Yeah.
Lots of blood, but no serious damage. Like,
it is just a flesh wound.
Lots of blood. I need to get some of these beta blockers so I could take them at work, maybe. You know, it's like, oh, he's dead. No, he can go home today.
So
It was
looking at
dead for 8 minutes.
Look in the chat room. Adam has said the prison one he was expecting, except the part of it being fake. That was about my train of thought too. Like when it happened, I said at the very beginning of the episode, looked at my girlfriend. I said, "Roy's gonna die this week. It's just setting up to do that." And then when we hit the commercial, she goes, "You son of a expletive! You called that." I'm like, I did, I guess.
I guess.
As soon as that happened, the first thing that went through my mind was, "Oh man, now I got to listen to Wing gloat."
Now you're still gonna have to listen to Wing gloat.
But you don't have to because he's not here.
Yes, because we all know as soon as they revealed that Roy was alive and he was going elsewhere, I went, "Oh crap! All Wing's going to talk about now is like Roy's going to be on Titans. Roy's going to be on Titans."
Yeah, nope, probably not.
Well,
maybe for one episode before it gets canceled.
we've got a news story on it, but since it's sort of connected, I'll bring it up now. I guess they did a talk with the showrunners, and what happened is that Colton, I forgot Colton Haynes' contract, was running out because he'd only signed a 2-year deal, and he'd gotten offers to do leading role positions and was starting to get into movies and things like that. So they were just finishing up his arc on the show, and they might bring him back from time to time. But he was moving on to greener pastures, so they wrote him out.
What greener pastures can you have than the Green Arrow?
Dude, he's co-starring with The Rock in a summer blockbuster.
I mean, green pastures.
The Rock.
We've all seen Furious 7 here right now, right?
Yes.
No.
Never mind.
Not going to bother, though. I'm not going to bother. Don't worry about it.
Well, there's that scene where he is in the hospital and he does something to get out of the hospital. And that's The Rock. I mean, that was the magical Rock thing. The whole minigun thing that's in the trailers and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's Rock too. But the real Rock in Furious 7 was the hospill scene. Anyway.
You don't need to censor that. That was in the trailer.
When he flexed to break his cast?
Yes. I didn't remember that. I haven't delved over hours and hours of Furious 7 trailers, that's for sure.
I mean,
I just listened to Legends today and they talked about it. So
I was going to say, if we need a Furious expert, we'll just give Wing a call because he knows everything about the movies, it sounds like. In fact, on Legends, he even gave his list of which ones were the best and which ones were the worst. I'm like, dude, you put way too much thought into the Fast and the Furious.
I tell you something, if I'm going to go to a Furious expert, Fast and Furious expert, I'm going to Sean, not Wing. There you go.
So brief aside, though, we can get back to Arrow. Does anyone else find it ironic that Wing loves the Fast and the Furious movies and hates the Avengers? When they're both popcorn.
But he likes the Fast and the Furious because they're superheroes at this point. And, oh, wait.
You got to realize that on this Legends podcast that they are gloating about Furious 7, right? They all turn into super dick mode and go at it. And then the two of them, Op and Beef, go after Wing for liking for portraying it as a film director or film. So what how do they call that?
A filmmaker.
A filmmaker, yeah. So they're going after him, thinking about it not as a fan but a filmmaker, and it's a great argument. Legends podcast, go check it out at gonnageek.com. You'll hear all about. It was one of their better movie podcasts that they've had in a while, so I definitely enjoy it, or at least I think so.
Wing, if you listen back to this podcast, you're welcome. We plugged it for you.
The dude gets a plug and he's not even here. Dang it.
Now we just need to get now we just need to plug like 9 more shows and we're getting close to Wing level.
Right. Oh,
we start dropping our H's though too.
Talking about Wing. So the power dude who is named at the end as Deathbolt, right? Uh-huh. So at the beginning though, he kills 2 bank guards, and I'm thinking to myself, aha, this is why Wing isn't here this week. Because he's a banker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come on, it was a stretch. It was funny to me.
But now I'm thinking that Wing is dead and I'm sad inside.
He's not dead. He's just in Connecticut.
Comic book dead.
Yeah, there you go. He'll be back next week once we figure out a way to hand wave it.
Okay, Chris.
This isn't the Wing you're looking for.
Right. Other than the 2 death scenes or quasi-death scenes at the end, Chris, what was your favorite moment out of this episode?
Oliver remote controlling Ray. It was just hilarious to me. It reminded me of like some of the stuff I've done for like Wii Sports or using the Kinect game at home, where I'm like trying to do the motion controls and like fake punching and stuff like that. It reminded me a lot of like Wii boxing rather.
Yeah. So how many video games did you play as a kid? He was busy putting beer in swimming pools. He wasn't playing video games.
Yeah, I think Ray and Ollie had very different childhoods.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Another thing about that scene, though. Okay, so Oliver's been running around Starling City for a couple of years now, and he's been using Felicity and Diggle and whoever else at home base to talk to all the time. He's got a little ear thing, Bluetooth or whatever it is, on his ear, right? But yet, when he's controlling Adam, he's got this gigantic headset on. I mean, come on.
It's because it's a neural interface. It's not just it's not just voice.
There you go.
So he can put his mind inside of Ray's mind.
I mean, that whole scene was hilarious, though. It's like, oh, I guess I'm just a passenger now. Like,
I know. And Felicity, like, I don't know how to answer this question without getting in trouble.
But it was also fun to see Roy. I'm going to do this all the time, Roy and Ray, because they're so similar.
You won't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. It was fun to see Ray kind of growing into, oh yeah, I kind of have to take this more seriously. And he learns that at the end of this fight when he gets pissed off and beats the crap out of folks.
Well, and, Brandon Routh said recently that he feels like Ray is a better fit with the lighter crowd in Flash. That's where the character feels more at home.
He's not wrong.
So, no, I mean that's where that character makes more sense in the Flash universe. So it would work well to have him, like, when things start to go too well, bring him onto Arrow again, and give him a reality check and kind of bring him back down to earth, so to speak. So
he is good at the names.
Yeah, he is good at the names.
And that we got a Cisco cameo.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And it wasn't one that you were expecting at all. Like, we knew that Felicity and Ray were going to be on Flash this week, but we didn't know Cisco was coming back over to this side.
Yeah, confession, I haven't watched the Flash episode, so please don't try to spoil it for me.
Oh, it's really good. That's all I'll say on that one.
I know. I had 13 hours of a certain Daredevil Netflix series to watch this weekend because I do a Marvel podcast, so it kind of put me behind on my TV watching. So I'm sorry. I will get to it this weekend.
Yeah, it was good, though. I enjoyed it.
So what was your favorite scene?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to pick. I mean, I would have to say the fight with Deathbolt when Oliver's controlling him. I mean, I hate to glom onto what Chris was saying, but it was just a lot of fun and exciting, and it was the climactic scene basically. Well, aside from Thea's pincushion impersonation.
Get out of my head, Jay. It's like you're reading my mind.
Oh, wow. My favorite part of the episode. It's so hard because you got Quentin going over the edge. And I wasn't on last time, but all of a sudden Quentin doesn't need to be popping pills anymore. He's strong. It's not like he runs out of breath when he's out running around anymore or anything.
Hate keeps you strong, man.
Yeah.
He's running the hate foo, huh?
He's running on the dark side, man.
I was about to say the dark side.
It's a Star Wars week. Sorry, guys.
Right, apparently, Chris or one of us can just go ahead and go, and the other one can fill in.
All right, see you guys later.
It's like it's like your guys are married or something.
Ew, no, we're not married. Not
I can only
yet.
dream.
That's in a month from now. Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, what else is there to talk about? We got the flashbacks going on with the whole Waller. Do you really believe that Waller was being detained by General Shreve?
Yes.
I don't want to, but possibly.
This is all part of writing her out so she does not appear again, or the Suicide Squad appear again after this season.
Oh, that's right.
And it goes back to that theory that I can't remember who brought forward a couple episodes ago when they shut down the Suicide Squad, because there's the unsubstantiated rumors that DC has said, we want these guys for the movie only. So even though you guys made them popular for us right now, you can't use them anymore.
And with Roy gone, they're getting, and Thea, supposedly, if she doesn't get thrown into the, what's it called again? The little
Lazarus pit.
Lazarus pit, which I think she will be. But it's getting pretty sparse in the quiver or the secondary quiver or wherever
They
they're
don't
at.
even have the main cave anymore.
It looked like they were at Palmer Industries. It didn't even look like they were at the secondary
I
quiver.
believe they were over at Palmer
they were,
Industries.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that makes sense. That's where all of his Atom gear is stored. So
How would Thea have known they were there to come and confront Ollie and be like, oh my God, Roy's been attacked?
Because they told her.
I guess. Must have been in between scenes or something.
Right. Oh, it was funny when Quentin went down to the basement, right? Switching gears dramatically right now. So Quentin comes in with a search warrant. It goes right to the basement, and they were looking around, and he says, "You put those things on display?"
yeah, that's the one that I was going to use. I forgot about that one.
Edit.
Yeah, no, that was kind of awesome when he came down there, and it's like it was his chance to completely, just get in Oliver's face, and both of them know, and Oliver just having to go along with what's going on at this point. So it was just his chance to get another one in, basically.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought it was a very interesting twist this week that Ollie had to be the one to sit in the cave or sit behind and try and monitor things, and how he struggled with that because
that
Oliver has never been good about biding his time.
He's a man of action. Well, I think I'm trying to remember. Back in season 1, he was content at some point in time to stay in the aircraft, I think, but that was very short-lived. Like they were coerced out and they had to go out. But for the most part, yeah, Ollie's not one to sit and stay. He's capable. He's, in his mind, the most capable person around. He's real trouble with I did it too. Roy, I was going to say Ray, in the suit. Yeah, he needs training, just like Laurel. So I don't know where he's going to get it, because Ollie's not going to always be there fighting with him like Pacific Rim.
Well, and I'm not sure that Oliver's the right person to train Ray here, because they fight very differently.
Well, let's take a look at the two people that Oliver has trained. Look at what happened with both of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really think that, I mean, beyond what we discussed before, I feel like that Ray would be better off training with the Flash team, because it's like Oliver said, he's like, you need to trust your instincts, not your tech. And Ray's like, well, my instincts are to trust my tech. So I don't think that he's not going to be one of those heroes that's real big on the physicality of it.
Yeah, Ray's not the martial artist that goes in there and just lays people out. He's all about he's like Tony Stark. He uses his cool toys to do stuff.
He suits up.
Yeah, literally.
And we even got the pseudo knee bend landing.
Yeah, wait until Flash this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I said on Facebook afterwards, and I'll stick to it. I was like, man, it's so cool. Iron Man was on Flash this week.
That's exactly what it was, too.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, he also was Superman, so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget.
That.
I won't spoil anything there, but there's a nice little Easter egg in Flash that references Superman
I
days.
can't wait. Let's pack this up early so I could go.
SP's got to go watch Flash, so bye, guys.
I do. Bye-bye. All right. So, okay. Adam brought it up in chat. It was in my notes, and I'm going to go back to it. At the end, excuse me. At the end, Cisco finds out that, or figures out that Deathbolt was not anywhere near the accident to become a meta. So how is he a meta?
Right, he was in Opal City, I think they end up saying.
Yeah,
right.
Opal City, yeah.
So the point is, he wasn't around the accident, and he's still a meta.
Right. Honestly, I think it's just they're going to, basically say, oh, because because dark matter came in, or whatever they're using to say that this is creating it. It's not localized anymore. Like it came through, or if you travel through Central City, if you, it might not be because of the reactor. It might be you just if you come in contact with this stuff, it can change you after the fact. I don't know.
I don't know either. It'll be fun.
I think it could be more of they're getting into the fact that what happened in Central City is not the only way to become a meta anymore. That's what opened the floodgates, but there's other ways it can happen out there, and it's not necessarily as prevalent that happening.
Yeah, it was basically just their way of trying to expand the metas beyond Flash.
Right.
So now we can have them wherever. Although I did think that it was very interesting that, I can't talk about Flash. Never mind.
Sorry. You can go ahead and talk about it. I'll just watch it.
No. We don't need to spoil it.
All right. So you guys are talking about different things like dark matter, and every time I hear dark matter when it comes to TV shows, whatever, my mind immediately goes to red matter from Star Trek.
Yeah, I can see where you get that.
Yeah, well, I think in the fictional worlds, that's what you should use, because dark matter is like a real thing, and it doesn't do this stuff. Red matter might.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, rocket science is not being able to do this.
This is above my pay grade.
All right. So General Shreve is definitely a dick.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Which, he was really good in V back in the day. I mean, like, really good. I liked him. Oh well. Okay. So they have enough inoculation shots in the flashbacks for everybody but one person. And Ollie's like, you all take it. And then I'm going to go, I think this is where we lose the kid.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
But then I think that's too simple. And they want us to think that. And it makes me confused.
I mean, this would be the easier way to, justify why both of them are feeling like it was their fault. You could very easily say, oh, well, we took it so that we could fight by Oliver's side, and then we didn't give it to the kid, and he's the one who wound up getting it. So,
yeah.
All right.
I'm very curious to see how this leads Maseo to the league when it's all said and done. I wonder if we'll get any looks at that before the season wraps.
Yeah. Like right after. It could be the beginning of next season, too. You never know.
That's true.
I know. So I got to watch this episode twice. And the second time through, as I was taking notes, I noticed the prison conversation scene between Roy and Thea, which took on an entirely new meaning once you've seen the episode all the way through. So it is their last conversation together.
That's true.
Well, okay, so Roy's out of town and Thea's dead at the end. And yes, comic book dead, and yes, Roy can come back and get that, but it is their last conversation, and it's through a pane of glass. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
We've seen the trailers for next week, and obviously they're playing it up to show that Oliver takes Thea's body to Nanda Parbat, and we know that we've seen her get dunked into the Lazarus pit. There's all kinds of stuff going around, so we know that she's going to come back. Whether or not she's completely whole is a different story. We don't know anything about that just yet, but.
Oh, that'd be cool to meet up with Sarah there too.
Well, did you watch the preview for next week's Arrow?
I have not seen it yet.
So if you watch the preview, there's about a second and a half on screen where it looks like Sarah is walking through in her canary costume.
Oh.
And we were actually watching it, and I had to pause and rewind and put it in super slow-mo because my girlfriend was like, no, that's Laurel. I said, no. It's Sarah. Look, she's got the boob appearance on her stuff. That's what I had to reference. I'm like, but remember, because she doesn't wear all black, so you had the white on her chest, and she also had the rolled up sleeves. I was like, that looks like Sarah to me.
Somebody posted a picture online that I saw of Sarah in a white canary costume. And I didn't know if there was a thing as a white canary or not, or if this was even a possibility. So
not that I know.
No, yeah.
Okay, so this is not either Gandalf or Katie Sackhoff in BSG. Gandalf the White.
No.
Okay.
Good references are falling flat tonight, folks. Wing would have got them. I want Wing back. You know what?
Oh.
Texas froze.
That's the first time.
Yeah, not me.
Texas froze over earlier this week because I actually agreed with Wing on the Gonna Geek podcast. I mean, did it get a little cold earlier on in the week for you, Jay?
No.
Well, then I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. All
No,
right.
I think that people need to start paying attention. Everyone's all hung up on Olicity. Apparently, it's Starwing that's going to be the big thing now.
All right. Thank you,
We'll be
Adam.
fine.
Adam in the chat's backing me up. He says, yeah, there was a white canary as a bird of prey villain for a 1 to 2
Oh,
arc.
I forgot all
I'm
about
assuming
that.
that's comic arc. So, see, Adam, thanks. That somebody's backing me up tonight. All right. Do you guys have any other notes on the episode? Any other thoughts?
No, I mean it was exciting, and honestly, had the showrunner come out and been like, "This is the one that's gonna that changes everything," instead of the one where he did say that.
Yeah, right.
I would have felt like, okay, you were justified to say it here instead of back then.
It was 2 episodes ago, by the way. It's episode 17.
It was the one where I guess Lance put out Oliver's identity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like this changes things far more than that did, especially when they retconned it at the end of the episode.
Right. Chris, you got any last thoughts?
I don't have any other stuff right now I can think of.
Uh,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, well, I guess just real quick aside, I like seeing Doug Jones on the show because he's done everything. And when I first saw him on screen, I didn't recognize him because he normally has wacky makeup on or motion capture stuff.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was cool to have Doug Jones on there. He's phenomenal.
And I want to give a little shout out to our buddy and past guest Ferris. He wanted very much to be on the podcast tonight to talk about it. It was a big episode for him, but he had to go out of town with the family, so he wasn't able to get in. But plan on hearing from him sometime in the future before the season is over.
That sounds ominous.
He's going to be on the podcast again, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically what I meant. And Neil wanted to be on as well, but he also was out of town dealing with issues. So you got the 3 of us. So there you go.
We're sorry.
Get out of my head.
So sorry. So sorry.
This is starting to get eerie.
It is a little bit. All right. Do we have any checklist points for this episode?
Let me pull open the checklist. Once I find the right article. So Deathbolt was in the comics before. I didn't realize this because he's not a DC villain I've heard of. But I guess in the comics, he was granted his powers after a biplane he was flying went down in a lightning storm.
Oh. So like the brothers basically at the beginning of Flash?
Yeah, very similar to the brothers in Flash, I think.
Yeah. See, I do watch Flash, just not this week.
I would have never caught this, but I guess this article on comicbook.com says there was the cross-section of Gartner and Yount, which is a reference to Milwaukee Brewers players from the 80s and 90s, Jim Gartner and Robin Yount.
Ah.
And how anyone made that connection, because I would not think of baseball and Arrow.
Right. Yeah,
No.
I mean, you really have to be a hardcore fan at that point.
Especially with
Right.
a Canadian-based production.
No, I mean, I have heard of Gantner and Yount and what was it, Molitor?
Paul Molitor for the Minnesota Twin.
I mean, I remember the trio, and they were amazing, but that's not what's running through my mind when I'm watching the show. So
No.
I never would have caught this.
There is a shout out to a writer from Green Arrow, I guess. They reference 4116 Dixon Canyon, which is a reference to a 90s writer, Chuck Dixon, for Green Arrow.
Nice.
And then this one I actually caught, and I forgot my notes. They're sitting upstairs, so I did this based off of what was scribbled in Google Docs. Having Roy in the prison and having to potentially break him out, things like that, reminded me a lot of the Green Arrow movie called Supermax they talked about doing a few years back, where the concept was Oliver Queen is put into a Supermax jail with a bunch of the villains he has locked up and has to fight his way out. This reminded me a lot.
We didn't talk about it. Roy did an excellent job. He got hurt in the process, but he did an excellent job fighting off those 3 bigger guys.
Yeah, and that was pretty sweet watching him do that. Like, because he's got his hands cuffed behind his back, managed to get him out. It was a lot of fun.
It was badass.
Proved that the guy was badass. Yeah, that he has taken his training and he has moved on from a lot of things. I think the killing the cop thing is going to haunt that character for the rest whenever we see that character again, it'll be something that's in his mind.
So my question for you guys then, as we're wrapping this up, with Roy going away and Roy, who's been the primary sidekick this season, going out with Oliver almost all the time, who's going to step into that role next season? Is it going to be the Canary that's always out with Oliver? Is it going to be Speedy, assuming she's resurrected? Or is Diggle going back into the field? Or maybe some random new character? What do you guys think?
Pretty sure it's going to be Felicity. She's going to suit up.
She's going to get an Adam suit.
Yeah.
And thus begins SP's fanfic.
Yes. Headcanon accepted.
Honestly, I expect that they're going to probably go with the Canary. They're going to have Canary going out with them a lot, but I do think that that we will wind up seeing Thea becoming Speedy.
Yeah, I would seriously agree with that.
So we're basically just moving everybody one step up the ladder. You know, Laurel went from the one that's, you know, kind of getting trained to now the primary companion, and Thea's going to move into the primarily getting trained spot. It's going to be a revolving door kind of thing.
Yeah. So
I wonder where Nissa is and all.
I was just going to say, we got the short Malcolm cameo, but we did not see Nissa at all. So,
and we know Malcolm's going to be pissed. But my question is, why is Malcolm, knowing that Roz is effing with Ollie, why is Malcolm not watching Thea all the time if that's what's important to him?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because then Roz would mess with him.
Ross would stab him.
And yeah, and the one thing that has been proven over and over and over again, rule number one is Malcolm is the most important person on the planet. You know, he doesn't care what happens to anyone else if he gets hurt in the process.
Maybe he was just going to a Lazarus pit to heal thyself, so to speak. Yeah? Nothing?
Yeah.
Nah.
Bad idea? It's all right.
It's an idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know who has great ideas?
Who's that?
Adam.
Batman.
Gosh, Wing isn't here and you have to do that?
Ben Affleck is Batman.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez. Wing, we're taking care of you, and none of us really want to. Anyway, Adam has some great ideas. You guys want to hear some of Adam's ideas?
Let's hear it.
Absolutely.
So where did Arrow turn into Game of Thrones without the boob? I mean, lots of deaths faked deaths in one case. Yeah, that was pretty intense. I'd like the surprise Cisco cameo, so I'm surprised that they decided to do the whole there are metahumans with power sources other than the particle accelerator thing on Arrow instead of Flash. I mean, it's not all that surprising. Maybe some of that stuff was still out there when he got home from his visit to I think they said Opal City. Well, I'm still trying to process, so I'll just listen to what you guys think. Talk to you later. Bye.
See, even he has trouble processing everything. But okay, so he said, when did it turn into Game of Thrones without the boobs? And I think there should be more boobs. There needs to be more Felicity shirtless scenes in this show.
Are you expecting one of us to say no?
I'm expecting both of you to agree with me.
Yeah, I can get behind. I think, you know, not just Felicity. Don't exclude her. Don't make her feel like the lone one. Everybody, just go ahead and give everybody shots. Yeah,
you just want everyone to take their shirts off.
You want to see Quentin without a shirt?
Sure, why not? Let him get in on the fun
with his heart surgery scar in the middle there.
Why not?
All right, why not? All right, but definitely
let's see him trying to do the salmon ladder. That would be great. I want to see. That's what I want to see in season 4. I don't care about anything else. I want to see Quentin trying to do the salmon ladder.
The real reason that he needed the search warrant for the basement, so he could get access to the salmon ladder, so he could work out and show Oliver up next season, right?
Yeah,
exactly. That's what it is.
Well, okay, so getting back to that, he knows about the basement now. Is he just going to leave it alone? Are they going to have to permanently relocate that to the secondary site or Palmer Industries?
I don't know. I think that, I mean, who was it that came in and basically told Lance that he was throwing everything away because of his personal vendetta? Like,
it was his old partner, right?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. So I think that that's going to play a part in it. I think that we might actually be seeing Quentin's downfall here. I think that the end of the season might show us him actually being, kicked off the force.
Well, and they hinted that a lot because the guy comes in, like we said, guy comes in, like, you're towing the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're in trouble, dude.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets, completely outcasted because of all this stuff, and hopefully actually like joins the team later on, or God forbid, what if he became a villain? What if he became so obsessed with taking Oliver and and Team Arrow down that he actually becomes a minor villain?
Huh. I think I'm just thinking maybe Ra's al Ghul would have something to do with that, but it doesn't have to. I mean, they've already had a fireside chat, a couple episodes. Was that last episode? Yeah, it was last episode. They had the fireside chat where they beat him up, put a bag over his head, sat him down, and said, "Hey, look, Oliver Queen's the Arrow."
Yeah.
So, all right.
And Ben Affleck is Batman.
Again, really? Star Wars rules. Chewie, we're home. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm sad.
All right. You guys done for the week?
I think I've talked out.
Yeah, I think we've covered it all.
All right. Next week, we'll be talking about season 3, episode 20, The Fallen. And thank you very much to all of our listeners. We are streaming live on Mixlr and through Google Hangouts on YouTube, so you can catch us there. Go to gonnageek.com/live. Join our live chat, and it is Chatwing. You can sign in on a various different ways: Google Plus, Facebook, Chatwing itself, Twitter. So just go check it out. I think there's about 15 different ways you can sign in and just join it and have fun, and maybe even get a mention on the cast. You can also find all of our contact information on the Gonna Geek Network site at gonnageeknetwork.com. Go to the Starling Tribune page on the network. In the top right-hand corner, you can see all of our contact information. Just click on our avatars and it will come up. Also, check out our forums at Gonna Geek and all of our other shows. But more importantly, just like Adam, you too can send us a voicemail. Just call at 1-612-888-CAVE. That is CAVE, or 612-888-2283. Any last words at Scopound?
I'm going to go with impaled.
Ooh. At Roundtable Nerds?
Arsenal.
Oh, I will go with Speedy. This has been.
So when did Arrow turn into Game of Thrones?
You are listening to the Starling Tribune, a podcast dedicated to the Arrow TV show.
This guy gets more airtime than the Kardashians, right?
Yeah, that's
This
the wrong
podcast
one.
is
That's
not
the
produced
intro
or
there, buddy.
maintained by the CW.
I think we should just close it with, so when did Arrow become Game of Thrones? Just close it that way.
Oh, I had to mess up this soundboard for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Oh, we're SP needs. Okay, this is a plea. Send me money so I can buy an iPad, so I can have more sound cart buttons, and I don't have to switch back and forth between two little iPhone 4S's that are just absolutely aging. So there you go. I'm trying to import the right one, and it's just not happening. So we're just going to end, and it's going to be fixed in post. So thanks a lot, guys.
Because F you, that's why.
This was the Starling Tribune. You can leave us feedback at gonnageek.com or check out our archive at starlingtribune.com. Visit gonnageek.com for more podcasts. Music by Kevin McLeod can be found at incompetech.com. This podcast is not produced or maintained by the CW, Warner Brothers Television, CTV, or DC Comics. All characters, stories, and situations are the properties of Time Warner. No infringement is intended. We will see you for the next episode of CW's Arrow.